I met a gypsy.
All right, we're at Press Day Anaheim 1 with the almost guest of the year. And press conference starts in a little bit. We're just mingling. Excited to be back racing.
Dude, we're at Anaheim 1. Waited all off-season for this. The nerves aren't even there, but the excitement's here.
The boy went West Coast too, which is pretty stoked. And I think the West Coast is going to welcome him back.
Oh yeah, the West Coast boy coming home. That's a good storyline, and he's ready. Like, we wanted him to do East Coast, but he's like, I'm ready. I'm not waiting. Let's go West. So I'm ready for him to show everyone what he's got.
Let's go. Jason, Gypsy Tales, Hayden, I want to dig a little deeper into the whole West Coast thing. I mean, Jeremy McGrath was kind of a guy that made this stadium famous. Obviously, he was a local. Is that, I guess, maybe a little bit of the brand going forward, and like really you've moved to Florida and really realized like, hey, I'm actually a West Coast kid, I'm a Cali kid, and California hasn't really had the rider to kind of carry over what Jeremy did for this stadium. So is that a part of the mindset in that decision?
Yeah, I mean, coming back to California, it just feels like home. Like when I get back to my city, I mean, it just feels like I just feel at home, right? So, it definitely, I mean, living in Florida is what you got to do to be. I feel like got to be a champion. That's what you got to do. So, that's kind of why I'm out there, obviously. But honestly, come back to California, it just feels more natural to me. So, I'm excited.
And with the rivalries that you have in this class, a lot of times we see when a rider's dominant, winning championships, it's natural that we start looking to the 450 class. Is there a rivalry already with some riders in the 450 class? I mean, those guys like literally speak on you and you haven't ever raced a 450. So I guess how do you feel about that going into these next couple of years as you sort of start to look more at the 450 class?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I heard guys like Jet or whatever say, I'm not even in his league, right? So, which I think is funny because on our best down at 250, I think he wouldn't be able to stand a chance, right? So on outdoors, but honestly, I mean, I'm gonna keep working hard, get to the 450 class, and we'll see. But right now, 250s, and that's my goal: winning races and championships in the 250 class. But yeah, I mean, time will tell.
Jason from Gypsy Tales, Rider D, mate. This one's for you. Physically, you look a lot bigger this year. You're a guy that went pro fairly young, out of the amateur ranks. Can you actually feel the difference in just you just turning into more of a man as you progress? Can you actually feel that out on the track, and do you think that it makes a big difference in Supercross?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Even since Vegas, I've gained like almost 15 pounds. So just that itself is a huge advantage. I get now like racing against older guys. They did have a lot more strength than I did, and I had a smaller chassis to start out my pro career. So, yeah, as I grow, I'm getting more used to it, and yeah, it's a huge advantage. Even in Supercross, just like even the whoops and the rhythm sections. But yeah, it's a huge help.
And in SMX, you had a big payday, and I see you got some ice on your neck. You told me you were going to buy some Bitcoin. Did that happen?
That was probably my dad will probably rub it in, but Bitcoin, that was a mistake. I didn't buy that. I should have, honestly. My dad was trying to get me to, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared to put my money into that stuff because you never know what's going to happen. But keeping in other things, but ended up shooting up a ton, so that would have been smart. But yeah, I like spending money, so I got to keep making money to keep spending it though. So we got to keep winning.
Jorge, I kind of just want to build off Wygan's question for you, essentially. And does it feel different to be the only, Spanish top-tier Spanish rider in the US? Obviously, in Europe, you're representing your country, but there's so many other Spanish riders there, but you're kind of the guy here now to try and build that fan base here in America. So I guess, how does it feel to be that guy and the importance of that position? And I'd also love for you to answer that question in Spanish as well for the Spanish fans.
All right. Yeah, well, first I will answer in English and then I will switch. I mean, I think it's cool because I feel like I'm representing, let's say, Spain, obviously. But at the same time, all the Latins here in America, there is such a big community of Spanish-speaking people that I feel like I'm, the one that's representing them. So I think that's cool. And like Jason said before, having let's say the TV in Spanish will attract so much more all these Spanish-speaking people. So yeah, I think it's pretty good for the sport. Now, should I do it in Spanish then? Okay. La verdad que yo siento que represento a España, obviamente, al ser español, pero también por el idioma siento que puedo representar a toda la comunidad hispana, por lo que para mí es algo súper importante también. Creo que de cara al deporte, de cara al supermotocross, podemos llegar a muchos más aficionados y creo que conmigo y con mis buenos resultados podemos hacer, pues eso, crecer el deporte y obviamente pues crecer la figura mía como piloto.
So,
Yeah.
Kenny, just a bit of a random one. We had Eli on the podcast yesterday, and I asked him who, over his career, was his biggest rival. And he mentioned you as the guy that over the longest period of time. So, where does Eli rank in rivals in your career? Obviously, he's back. Maybe this is his last season. So, where does he rank in your career as a rival? And do you have maybe a favourite memory or moment that you two have shared out on the track? Because there has been a lot of races.
Yeah, there has been a lot. I mean, honestly, I would as well say that Eli has probably been my biggest rival over my entire career, just because when I came over, first off, for Mini Olympics for the first time, right? A long time ago, we were riding at Ricky's farm actually for the first time and started hanging out, right? And then we had the World Championship on 85s back in the day in Finland, so we started racing there, and it's just crazy, you know, we're 30 and 31, 32 years old and pretty much have raced each other since we were kids, so it's hard for me to really pick out one specific memory just because we've had so many over so many years, right? But I think ultimately, you know, battling for race wins and essentially championships, you know, back in, or at least when I was a championship contender in 2016 and stuff, we just had so many good moments, and I talk about that with my wife even as well, how cool it has been, and there's a bunch of other riders that I've raced for a really, really long time, right? So, yeah, I would say Eli and I, we go way back, and we're still at it in our 30s.
Ando, mate, you are a dude that always prioritises, obviously, the on-track stuff, but you're probably one of the cooler guys off-track. We saw some pretty cool stuff get released yesterday from Alpine Stars. The last time you were on track with the SMX, like you were doing some collabs with Win, and there was some cool gear stuff. Can we expect some pretty cool stuff from you in 2025? And I guess maybe just like explain a bit of your mentality around why that is important for you.
Yeah, you know, I obviously, yeah, like I prioritize my racing first always, but I don't know, other stuff, I'm just interested in it. Yeah, honestly, in my free time, I'm just, you know, kind of bored. It's not like we can do much whenever we're off the track. And for me, like doing some of those projects, and honestly, a lot of them are some of my friends that I'm able to do those projects with, you know, between some of the gear stuff that we've done, and I'm lucky that Alpine Star is a really good platform for us to be able to do it with. So, yeah, I think obviously I think most of the guys that are wearing Alpine Star are going to be wearing the Dirt Studio stuff tomorrow, and I think Donnie crushed it on the design, and I think it'll be fun to do more projects like that. You know, I think for me, I enjoy doing that, and I'm just trying to enjoy my racing too. So, keeping it fun.
Jet, mate, saw a little pic from film guy Tom's Instagram, you jumping on the Honda Jet to jet on out here. Hayden was on a jet as well. Are we like getting back into the private jet era of the sport? And I mean, that's got to be like a good sign, right? That things are kind of moving in the right direction if you guys are making those kind of moves.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was a cool experience. It was my first private jet ride that I've ever been on, and it was with a Honda, so it was pretty cool. Obviously, mine was free of charge, so it's a little different. And yeah, I mean, it could be, but I feel like nowadays the pricing of per hour is different. You know, nowadays it's like 6,000, 7,000 per hour, and for us to fly across country, it's a stupid amount of money that's just not needed. You know, I mean, it's cool and all, I think, for a one-time thing, but it's not like the old days where you may be paying like 1,000 now or so. But no, I mean, it's cool we're getting back to that. Personally, I'm always striving to make more money and make this sport, try and get it more higher like football and that stuff. I think we've still got a long ways to go there, but we're getting closer. But no, it's good to see that. It's just cool that we're lucky enough and grateful enough that we can purchase those things, you know, with our sport doing well.
Any chance? 2026? I don't know. Depends if I throw up W's or not, so we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know is a yes, Weech. If there's any chance and you say I don't know, that's a yes.
I'm taking them the saying there's a chance answer, even though he didn't actually say that. Thank you to our 450 former Premier Class Supercross champions. And one-on-one time over there. Riders will...
All right, so we're done at A1, but we got one more thing we got to do. And we got to pick up a new YZ450. All right, that's it from press day here at Anaheim 1. Press conference was pretty lit. Hayden was lippy. Jack got lippy. All the other boys seem like they're in the zone. So, yeah, cool day. Track looks tough and technical. We got a fresh Yamaha 450. Managed to get the better one than the Dig, so that's always a win in itself. That's it. See you tomorrow. Oh, what are you doing?
Dude,
what are you doing?
Good. They gave me this bike and you that bike, bro.
They know who has a better chance. They know who has a better chance of winning the build-up, so they're like, they're already giving me.
Wrong this picture? I need to something very wrong. Become a shit talker.
He almost took your bike. He's like,
Dude.
oh yeah, sweet. Let's go.
I know.
Can you believe this guy? Huh?
Come a long ways, guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right, let me know.
Hey, they gave me this because they feel sorry for me. They're like, Deegan smoked him in the first one. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.